Welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty podcast. Back at it again. A lot of free agents moving around, and we're gonna get right to business. And there's just so much shit to talk about. Craft man, what's going on, man?
You ain't lying. There is a whole bunch of shit to talk about. But Chris, we got Chris in the building down there. I see him next to Craig. How you doing down there, Chris?
Doing good. Chilling next to Craig. You know how it goes.
Yep. Everybody been busy this summer. Chris been off for a few weeks. Shoot, me and Craftman been throwing episodes out when we can. We in the middle of doing some rookie profiles, but we breaking away from that because I like talking about this stuff better anyways, because we definitely going to take a little break from that and talk about some free agents. And there was so much movement real quick, and I like it.
So you're telling me at this time of the year you like talking about the old busted-ass veterans than you do the rookies that everybody's so hyped about?
Man, I don't know, man. That is tough. I'm with you. I like it all. I just like it all.
Oh, that was being sarcastic. I was just being sarcastic. The fantasy community loves rookies, man. They love rookies. Everybody forgets about the guys who've been doing it for forever.
And all those older running backs went and got signed again. So
yeah,
that's going to affect the rookie draft some, no doubt. We'll definitely be talking about that. But I mean, where you want to start, Craft man?
Right where you were headed, man. Running backs.
Josh Jacobs is at the top of my list, and he's over there to your Packers. And team friendly. What was it? 14 mil.
Guaranteed, like 4 year, $48 million. It is the exact same contract that the Packers signed Aaron Jones for a couple years back.
Yeah. Well, I think this was real good for the Packers football-wise, no doubt. I definitely think it's good fantasy-wise. I wish I had some Josh Jacobs. Yeah. All those years, I was saying sell a long time ago, and here he is.
Going to a good spot.
Yeah. All these guys went to some good spots, or a few of them did. How do you feel about it, Craft man?
I mean, at the time when I was watching, I actually took the day off work. I didn't even know it was really free agency day, but sitting there, I was like, man, I picked a good day to take off work because I was just watching the free agency stuff going down that first day. And I seen Jacob sign, and everybody was like, "Oh man, that's a surprise! They got a two-headed monster." All this, I was just sitting there like almost crying because Aaron Jones is like my favorite player. I was like, I know Aaron Jones is gone. I'm just waiting for the news. And I like Josh Jacobs. I mean, for the short term, I think Aaron Jones is better, like this season. But they pretty much just kind of set the clock back 3 years. Josh Jacobs 26, Aaron Jones 29. Got to get a running back out of it. So I can see why they did it, but that's what the Packers do. They get rid of players 1 year early instead of 1 year too late. So I'm kind of in between on it, but like Josh Jacobs. What you think, Chris?
I like it. I do like it. I feel like I mean, he's going to have a bit more opportunities than what he did with the Raiders. Jordan Love was looking good last season. I know y'all lost Bakhtiari, I believe. Didn't y'all lose Bakhtiari?
We haven't had him.
I haven't had him. Wait, I mean, I know the dude don't ever play, but I mean, but still, when he's on the field, he makes a difference, especially for the running back. But, I mean, still, I think it's good. I think it's better than him being with the Raiders.
Yep, on an offense that is ascending. We want all their wide receivers.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, you know how they feel about Romeo Doubs. They love them some Romeo Doubs.
Heck, we love them all. We love them all. We love all them young guys. But they did re-sign A.J. Dillon, too, so that I feel like that is a good sign for Josh Jacobs, too, because you got one of the worst running backs in the NFL as your backup. So, you know, the Packers were like, you can test free agency all you want. And I don't think his phone rang one time. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, but I don't think his shit was blowing up.
Well, we're about to transition because Chris traded. Let's see, in this past season, traded. It was a deal that traded Josh Jacobs and got Saquon in a deal. I know we talked about that trade a little bit back in the day, but Saquon to Philly, Chris, how you feeling about that move right there?
I'm fucking ecstatic. I would like it go from a offense that literally can't do shit, like offensive line just getting run over by the fucking third string defensive players, like just like their turnstiles just walking through them. And now he's gone. He's gonna be running behind Lane Johnson. They lost Jason Kelsey, which sucks, but I think that's gonna hurt Justin Fields more than it does Saquon. I mean not just Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
But no, I like it. I think also just with Josh Jacobs, he's got a better opportunity. And I know before the pod we were talking about Jalen Hurts is going to vulture his touchdowns. Yeah, but Saquon's also going to catch the ball and yak it up, and then he's going to score in this offense. Like it's going to be a lot better than the Giants, than fucking Danny Dimes or fucking Tommy DeVina, like fucking throwing this dude the ball. Like it's massively better. Massively better.
Yeah, I mean, Saquon had 6 touchdowns last year. I mean, if we were all to just to agree right now, we don't have to argue. I feel like he's going to have more than 6 touchdowns this next year. It doesn't matter if Jalen Hurts is vulturing touchdowns or not, and he's still going to get. He probably won't get as many opportunities because he was it for New York, but it's going to be a lot more efficient, and he's still going to get plenty of work. I mean, the deal he signed, there ain't no way he ain't a 3-down running back.
Yeah. And I think that, they'll definitely still do the tush push, but maybe they tone it back knowing that you got Saquon Barkley back there. You might just turn around and hand the ball off. Things will change a little bit.
Yeah. Saquon
I
Barkley.
see a lot of Philly fans. I saw some Philly fans get mad that they wanted to keep DeAndre Swift, and I was like, I mean, Saquon can do all the stuff that DeAndre Swift can do in a bigger package, but the issue's always been the injuries. But it was the same with Christian McCaffrey, but they both played for shitty ass fucking teams that literally ran them into the ground. Saquon and Christian McCaffrey were carrying the ball 30 plus times a game. Go ask Todd Gurley how that worked out for him. Go ask all of these people how that works out. You can't run these people into the ground and expect them to perform. He's only 26, 27 years old. He's fine. I promise you, he'll be fine for at least 2-3 years.
That's a good comparison that I hadn't really heard. People didn't think Christian McCaffrey could be that much better when he was with the Panthers because he got everything. But then he went to the Niners, didn't get quite as much, but everything was better. The scoring opportunities was better. The yards per carry, everything was better.
This past year, it felt like they just straight up started going to him. I mean, what if they start rolling with Saquon like that? That'd be crazy. They could, though. You never know.
McCaffrey did have a massive year with the Panthers that one year, though. He scored like 470 fantasy points. But Saquon, I mean, that Giants offense is terrible.
Yeah. So what we got next? Derrick Henry to the Ravens.
Touchdown machine.
It is crazy. It's like all these running backs went to some pretty good spots, or most of them, because there's one that I got in my mind that I don't really care for, but Derrick Henry to Baltimore, why not? You know what I'm saying? We'll see if Derrick Henry still got some left in the tank. And I was listening to somebody today was saying, guaranteed Derrick Henry's top 7 running back. And I got other folks that are way on the other opposite. They're like, no, that ain't happening. Like, they think Derrick Henry's lost some, but Baltimore's just better than Tennessee was. The situation's way better. He'll probably get more touchdown opportunities. Lamar Jackson's back there too. That doesn't hurt. So I kind of like it. Top 7 though. What you think, Kraft?
I mean, it's borderline top 7. I don't have my list right in front of me, but I would imagine it's pretty close. I mean, Gus Edwards had 13 touchdowns last year, and he only carried the ball. He was only on the field for like 40% of the snaps. So you're talking about a guy that's going to be on the field for 70% of the snaps, 60 to 70% of the snaps, and definitely going to be the goal line guy. He's going to have, if he stays healthy, he's definitely going to have upwards of 13 touchdowns like Gus did. And shoot, last year I was all high on J.K. Dobbins because I thought he was going to score a shit ton of touchdowns. He got hurt in the very first week, but if he would have stayed healthy, all them touchdowns that Gus got, J.K. Dobbins would have had. So I'm going to be all in on Derrick Henry this year just like I was on Dobbins last year. Just hope he don't get hurt.
I mean, Chris, what you think about it? High on this one, or?
I mean, I like it. I know there was a lot of talk about him signing with the Cowboys. I actually think that this is better for him just because I like, the way that Lamar can run the ball and all of that. They got a good line. They got really good run schemes that they do. But, I mean, I think it's a really good spot for him to end up. Now, we did see some decline. I did witness some decline last season from Derrick Henry. I mean, there was a game that this man was held to like 20 yards on like 16-something carries. That's worrying, but that comes down to like a game script. There's a lot of factors in that, but the dude's proven, man. Like, as long as I feel like that he can walk, he'll be all right. It's Derrick Henry. He's gonna run your ass over if you give him the chance.
I wonder what it takes to get a Derrick Henry. What would you trade for? I mean, you probably wouldn't have to pay too much, but I'm just wondering what that price is.
One thing I want to bring up with Derrick Henry and the Ravens, though, is that the Titans always ran, the quarterback was under center. The Ravens don't ever run any sort of scheme where Lamar is under center. He's always in the
gun and pistol, yeah.
And I don't know how Derrick Henry's going to fare in that kind of offense. I don't remember ever seeing Derrick Henry run out of the shotgun. Like, he's always in some kind of I formation or single back formation. So it's going to be different. I mean, I'm not going to say that that's a total downside, but it's definitely something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, that is something to worry about, too, especially with Derrick Henry, because now, instead of just running up the gut, he's going to have to either make a first cut or just cut, diagonal. Like, there's always going to be some kind of cut, and he's not going to be able to get downfield as quick. They
didn't do zone reads in Tennessee,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That is true. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to think, to be honest. I don't really lean towards top 7-ish, though. But it could be real good, but we'll just see.
I think it might take Derrick a little bit getting used to the quarterback pulling the ball out of his hands to run the ball, too, because Tannehill wasn't exactly pulling the ball out of his hands while he's trying to run.
Man, Crabmack, throw me another running back. What's the next one?
Joe Mixon to the Texans.
Yeah. Well, he was going to get released and then got traded for a 7th-round pick. Houston went and snagged him and then signed him, I think, for like a 3-year deal, if I'm correct.
Yeah. I don't have the deal in front of me, but it was enough to know that Joe Mixon's going to be their guy. I want to say it was like $24 million or something, 3-year, $24 million or something like that.
I told my brother just today or yesterday, I was like, man, you just got so lucky with Joe Mixon because I seen he got released. And I was already kind of talking a little shit. I was like, bye-bye, Jonathan. And I was like, you're done, like, holding the bag. And then he went and signed with Houston, and they got a deal. I was like, man, you got lucky on that one. I can't believe that. I feel like this is good. I mean, Joe Mixon looked good last year, and this is an offense that's ascending, kind of like what we were saying with Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this offense is going to look good. Dameon Pierce pushing him to the side. He's done for. He's just a backup.
He is done, man. They have no faith.
Crapman had talked about. We talked about the whole Dameon Pierce value with him being as replaceable as it comes. I mean, I don't know if he's like Isaiah Pacheco level replaceable, like in terms of draft capital, but I mean, he was replaceable and he was replaced.
Yeah, he was definitely replaced.
I swear to y'all, that Dameon Pierce thing is my biggest regret from last year's offseason because I was sitting here arguing with Matt and Ian about Dameon Pierce ain't shit. Devin Singletary is going to take a lot from him. And then they played that third preseason game, and Dameon Pierce was on the field the whole time. And I finally got in right before the draft. I was like, oh, man, Dameon Pierce might actually be it. And I regret the hell out of that. I ain't doing that shit this year. Sticking with my guns. But we're talking about Joe Mixon, though. And
Yeah.
what you think? I
He'll
like
be
it.
about a top 15. Yeah, that's about Joe Mixon normally sits. Top
I
15.
I know
Matt hates
Craftman
Joe
likes it.
Mixon, man. He will
Nah,
bury his ass. He'll bury his ass
We
anytime
did
he
shit
chance
all
he
over Joe
gets. But,
Mixon.
hey, but he looked good last year, and I think this is good too. So
oh yeah,
I mean, you gotta
it's gonna
like
be
it.
great.
Craft. So I know you all in. You love you some Joe Mixon.
Yeah, I like Joe Mixon, but I mean, I feel like it's a lateral to maybe a little bit lower move than him staying with Cincinnati.
I'm definitely selling.
You selling on
This is
this?
like your lucky chance to sell. Like this dude was gonna be released, and who knows where he was gonna. And now he just ended up in Houston. I feel like you might as well just sell. I mean, he could do a good. He could have a good year or two, but
I mean, I always
sit him
felt like
out.
Joe Mixon was more one of the most underrated players. I mean, the last
He's
3 years he was
ass.
the last 3 years he was the RB5. This is half PPR, so we'll do full PPR since that's what we talk about. He was the RB6, 10, and 4 last 3 years. That's pretty damn good if you ask me.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about him like he's. I mean, them finishes are better than like a
Yeah.
Derrick Henry if you average them together. So Joe Mixon just be getting shitted on all the time.
He does. He does. Even by
One of
me.
them
I definitely
guys.
gotta. I definitely gotta respect that a little more. What's the next one, man? Tony Pollard. Or we
Yeah,
got any other bigger names?
we can go to Tony Pollard if you want. What do you did Chris say what he thought about Mixon like as far as fantasy value goes? You feel like
you
it's
say
I mean,
Sell,
I'm
stayed
just
about
man?
the
kind of
same?
like in the same spot. I don't really think much changes. Like
It
Yeah.
the
went
offense
up.
over there is looking better, but I mean, I think that he'll sit around where he normally was.
For redraft, it stays the same for me. For dynasty, it has to go up because he got a deal, like a
Oh
3 year
yeah.
deal. So it has to go. You were thinking he's gonna get released and maybe fall into a backup role or something sometime,
Shit.
but
I
it
might
has
go
to go up.
buy. I might go buy Joe Mixon, man. Trying to make my championship run. I might go get him. Love me
Will
some Joe
you?
Mixon.
You ain't going. You ain't gonna go after Joe Mixon.
I might want to go buy Derrick Henry. Kind of thinking. Think about what I want to
You'll
do
buy
now.
all these guys.
Oh man, I might as well go for it. And I can't get rid of Cup and Kelsey,
I'm
so
just, I'm just saying, if you go out in dynasty right now and you want to get somebody, Josh Jacobs is going to cost you a lot. Joe Mixon might not cost you as much, and Joe Mixon might be the play.
yeah, I'm with you. All right, Tony Pollard. He goes over to Tennessee. This one kind of caught me off surprise, but Tennessee went out and spent some money. I'm sure we'll talk about Calvin Ridley at some point. Got him a deal. Um, I've heard that D Hop is still under contract. I thought he was going to be gone, but it looks like they're going to be rolling out there with D Hop, Calvin Ridley, Traylon Burks, Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears, and Will Levis. How does that sound?
And Will Levis at the
I
end.
mean, how does that sound? I mean,
Sounds like
Dak.
shit.
It sounds like it's gonna be a shit show.
I
Is what it
mean,
sounds like. It
Yeah.
sounds like to me. Well, no, we're talking about Tony Pollard. Well, I'll save that for when we get to Calvin Ridley.
Or you can just go ahead and break them
I'm
all
about to
down. It
say
don't
it's
even
just
matter.
like I don't know. Like it seems to me like AJ Brown left because the Titans didn't want to pay $100 million for a receiver, right? Okay, so you
Yeah.
turn around 2 years later and you sign sub 30-year-old Calvin Ridley to a $92 million deal. And honestly, I've
uh,
been seeing a lot of stuff. People have been posting the betting odds on where this guy was going to sign. Tennessee Titans was down there toward the bottom. It was plus 1,800. So people are
Dang.
talking about, oh, maybe he threw some money on that. It went cashed out on it.
but Chris, Traylon Burks was the next AJ Brown. I mean,
Uh,
Traylon Burks was AJ Brown. That's why they did that.
I mean,
yeah.
maybe
You
with a
make a
different
solid point.
quarterback throwing him the ball, but
I guess we don't have to talk about Calvin Ridley on the free agency signings, but
Eh,
Pollard,
I mean,
that's
I
ass,
don't.
man.
It is
Pollard's
what it
gonna be
is.
Pollard's
As
gonna be
for both
doo.
of them.
I am
As for
not
D
gonna be
Hop.
in.
so high on Tony Pollard last year, like coming into last year, and he really didn't do much last year, even with the Cowboys.
Right.
Their offensive line is bad too, and that's one of the main reasons that I want to say that the bottom 3 offensive lines last year was like the Giants, the Jets, and the Titans.
Well,
They're terrible. I mean, if Derrick Henry can't do it, Tony Pollard sure as hell can't do it. And
So I
Tajay
guess-
Spears is going to be stealing some work.
Yep. I think it's safe to say that we're all not that high on the Tony Pollard to Tennessee.
Not in Dynasty. I mean, I'll take a shot, depending on what his ADP is in redraft.
In best ball and stuff
could
like
be
that.
in.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm with you all the way.
What does it take to get a Tony Pollard? Calvin Ridley or Tony Pollard in Dynasty?
I'd rather have Tony Pollard though. I
don't know.
I don't know.
I honestly think that I just want to stay away from it. It's just back.
That's one I'm gonna be just.
But if
Traylon
everybody's
Burks might be
thinking that,
another.
though, that might be a deal. You got to buy low sometimes.
Yeah, I might go buy me some Traylon Burke in best ball again. Wait till about the
Jesus.
14th round. Cash it in. All right. What else we got, Kraft man? DeAndre Swift to the
That's a big deal.
Chicago
big one.
Bears. Yeah, I mean, I like it. Khalil Herbert is still over there. Is that right? 1 year deal. And Roschon Johnson.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like it. DeAndre Swift looked pretty good last year. He just always stays hurt, but heck, he's got a contract. So, I mean, I don't even know what to say about DeAndre Swift as far as because, I mean, what is this shit even going to look like in Chicago, really? He's going to have a rookie quarterback. Now, I know they got Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, so I know they're kind of stacking it up. Not sure what to think about DeAndre Swift. Like, I feel like Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson's still going to get the rock some, but
They signed Gerald Everett as well, I believe.
so they're definitely trying to load it up. I mean, what do you think about this signing? I would just. I mean, what's the price tag on a Swift right now?
Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison.
That's what I offered anyway. And that shit
declined.
got declined.
Dang, I think that one's kind of wild. I think I would definitely take the Addison side. See how that one pans out.
What about
Chris,
you,
I know
Chris?
you on the Addison side on that.
I mean, I like the Addison side.
Yeah. Me and Chris some Addison folks.
I send trades that should get accepted, and people just think I'm trying to fuck them, but I really ain't. I'm just trying to offer some trades that would work.
Yeah.
People just be like, I need more. I need some more sugar on that thing. I'm like, no. This is as much as I can do. You're like, what about Chris Olave and Jordan Addison? I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
I make trades and make it to the championship and then get told I'm a bottom team. So, I mean, you do what you do. Do what you do.
You gotta have alligator skin to play Dynasty Fantasy Football.
Man, I've been talking so much shit this year, man. I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I just couldn't help it, man. Couldn't help it. I send something every other day. That don't nobody even reply to me no more. It just is what it is. I'm just sitting there saying shit, man.
Like Big Mike said, they can't say nothing, man. They ain't got no rings, dude. They ain't got no rings.
Big Mike drunk called me the other day talking about they be talking shit, but they ain't got no rings. Like, oh man, Mike was killing me, man. That joke is so funny because Mike does have a championship. Me, Chris, and Mike, the Dynasty Championship. We don't even talk about them redraft championships back in. Hey, Kraft, man, this league's been going on so long that we used to draft a redraft league, and then nobody set their lineups except for like maybe 2 people.
That's how long it's been.
That was like back in high school, and then all the way growing up.
It's funny. It's funny when you play like fantasy in high school and college, and you're like, you got so much shit going on, and you're drinking and having a good time. You ain't setting the lineup. Then when you get older and you have kids and stuff, people think that you're way too busy because you got kids. That's when people get into it.
Right,
it's like,
I know.
It's like, man, I need a break from doing baby shit. Let me hop on fantasy football right quick.
Let me disappear real quick and go hop on this app and look at my fantasy football lineup.
I'll be rocking my boy, just staring at my sleeper app like as soon as he nods off.
I look at my lineups like 100 times a day. Like I'll look at the same team over and over. All right. So, anyways, what we got? Swift. We all okay. I feel like we're all kind of fine with it. I would definitely take Swift in some situations, but I want to find out what that price tag is, and then see what I can do. He's got a little bit of security now, so you definitely like
Yeah,
Swift more now, even
I
though
can't
it's
get
Chicago.
I can't get with the Bears though.
Yeah,
They're gonna they suck. They're always gonna fucking suck. But
I
I
hate the
mean,
Bears, dude.
it's more of the deal. Same thing with Joe Mixon. It's the 3 year deal. You got to look at the money that they're paying these guys, and the money equals opportunity. You don't pay somebody that kind of money and not make them a focal point. Like
right.
a lot of the running backs could have got that deal, and I'd be high on them. But if he would have signed a 3 year, $24 million deal with the Eagles, probably would have been happier. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's good if you have Swift in fantasy and Dynasty. So
Right. Um, I guess one more main running back that we're gonna talk about, Austin Eckler to Washington. Kraft man, I'm just saying it's over. That's all I'm
yeah.
saying. If you got Eckler
Yep.
on your roster, you're probably holding the bag, and maybe
Appreciate
you can
Puka,
get.
Nope.
Chris. I
Nope.
appreciate that Puka.
I guarantee you that I move Eckler.
You
Hey, not for
why?
Puka though.
I'm just wondering what is Eckler's price range like. What would I be willing to give up? I would I might would pay. I don't know. In Superflex, it'd have to be have to be a third, man. That'd be as high as I could go.
I
One
did get
quarterback.
Will did counter with a second and Austin Eckler for Deontay Johnson. I just don't want to come off the second.
Do you think
I'll give you a third.
Do you think Deontay
Mm,
has the possibility of being like Adam Thielen last year?
I mean, I think
I think
I
that
don't
he's gonna
know.
be like Justin Jefferson, bro. What do
Oh
you
my God.
mean, dude?
Hey, man, I do think it's gonna be pretty good. I think this might be all right for Deontay Johnson. Honestly,
Mhm.
the more I think about it, I like him more now
I think I
than
do too.
maybe his last situation with Pittsburgh. If
That's
I
a sneaky
just
like trade for target.
and
I feel
Chris is
like.
man, Chris, I'm gonna just push you to the side. I'm about to start making me some moves real quick. Chris
Yeah.
already in on that one. I'm just now thinking about this one for the first time. Crazy.
I,
But so we're out on Eckler.
yeah, we're out on Eckler. I'm totally out. I think his career's over. But I was just
Look,
talking. I was talking that shit to Chris with that Eckler trade. But shit, Dynasty, everybody be getting the best of each other sometimes. Chris got me big time on that Jahan Dotson trade I made early in the year too. So we just be going back and forth, ripping each other off.
that's what I'm saying. When you see dynasty trades, you cannot overreact, man. That because they just will look so different. I
I
mean,
don't
it
know.
could
I
be
feel like
quick.
the one that Zamil handed me just dropped him a lap in the middle of the
Jeez.
season. That one can definitely be kind of bitched about because I mean, I don't know. I feel like if I was y'all, I would have been pissed because, like I said, we had no communication about that. I just got a notification on my phone. Zamil has sent you a trade. I thought about that shit for 30 seconds. I texted y'all and I said, y'all about to see me accept this. Then I accepted it.
It is crazy how some trades can be like that. You'll haggle all day, and then some of them will just pop in your inbox, and you'll be like, "Shoot!"
Yeah,
Because
those are the best.
All
Those are the
right.
best ones right there.
I'm gonna start throwing out names if you want to talk about one.
All
Antonio
right.
Gibson to New England. Um, DJ
Trash.
Dallas, Zach Moss.
I like
Trash.
it. I
You
like
like?
it.
I
I
do.
like
I
it to the Bengals. I mean, we got to talk about this. Zach Moss or Chase Brown? Who are we? Who do we want in Dynasty?
probably Zach Moss.
You think so?
Moss.
Me and you
Would you
like Chase
trade
Brown.
with this running back class right now being the way it is and the way free agency shaked out too? It's obviously NFL teams think that this rookie class is ass. I mean,
That's what that looks like.
that's what it looks like. There's only like three or four teams that even
And
have an opening for running back at this
and
point.
even then, Craftman, I'm not even sure if any of those guys could get day 2 draft capital at this point.
Day
Maybe
two,
one. I'm
you talking about
worried
third
about it.
round? You don't even think any of them going in the third round?
Maybe one. I think they getting pushed way back, man. I think we about to start pushing running backs way back. There's not even a lot of landing spots for these guys.
Yeah, the Chargers, the Cowboys, the Raiders, maybe the
I don't
Broncos,
know.
maybe
The Patriots, dog. Bill, fuck around. Oh no, not. I mean, he ain't there
Ramondre.
no more. But I don't know.
Who'd you say
They
the
might
Bills?
load it.
I
That's
don't
the
know.
Patriot way. Load that bitch up with running backs.
I mean,
Yeah.
Antonio Gibson might even have some. We just skipped over him. He might have some PPR value, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Aaron Jones. How you
Oh
feel
yeah, that
about
was
that one?
huge. I mean, it was a big deal for. It's going to be a 1 year thing. It was just a 1 year deal.
Yeah.
I'll be pretty in on Jones. Come redraft, but I think he's a cheap kind of buy low. For dynasty, I don't think you're going to have to pay a whole lot for him. You know, I'd send a second out. If you
Yeah.
need running back help, send a second out. And if the team that has him isn't really competing, you can just argue that, hey, he's only on a 1 year deal. He got 1 year left. So this is it for Aaron Jones, I feel like. This is Aaron Jones last year being relevant, unfortunately.
With that said, I think, is there any more running backs you want to get over? That was pretty much the deepest part right there, them running backs. We could cruise through the episode now. If you any more
Devin Singletary went to the Giants.
Giants? Yep, that's right.
Gus Edwards went to the Chargers. And yeah, that was it. That's the only two that we kind of missed. And I'm gonna hit on some of the free agents that are still out there. Zeke's still out there. Do y'all think anything about that? Do you think
No.
he has?
No.
Clyde.
Maybe.
And
The only thing about Clyde is he's young. He's really young.
Yeah.
and Alexander Madison and J.K. Dobbins.
Nah.
Those are the only ones. Cam Akers, I think we're done with him.
Yeah.
Deontay Foreman, I don't really see a whole lot of. Kareem Hunt, we done with him.
Yeah.
So that's about it. So you still got Zeke, Madison, Clyde, Cordell Patterson. You know, those are the guys still available that haven't found a spot yet. But it seems like they're probably going to be backups at best if they go somewhere. I don't see why the Chargers just don't go get Zeke.
Yeah. They might. You have to see how it goes. Running backs, a lot of movement in the running back this year, and me and Craftman, we're going to talk about it with these rookies, but I think it pushes back those rookie running backs way back, and then in our rookie drafts, we're talking late seconds, early thirds. You start taking stabs at running backs.
I think you just got to, when you're looking at picks now, like if you're trading for picks and trading players for picks right now in Dynasty, don't necessarily look at the running backs that you like. Look at the landing spots available. And like we said, there's really only like really only two landing spots that are perfect, and that's Dallas and with the Chargers. That's the only two that, like, even with the Raiders, if a running back goes there, it's going to be Zamir White or this guy. And if it goes to the Broncos, it's going to be Javonte or this guy. So there's only two that's like they could go to a starting job right away.
All right, so let's just move over to the wide receivers and this, not as deep to roll through, but Calvin Ridley, we already done shit on it to Tennessee. We don't like it. I think it's over with for Calvin Ridley.
It's where receivers go to die.
The
Tennessee Titans.
You are right.
So, what about Darnell Mooney for headed to Atlanta?
I like it.
Got him a deal. Looking like the number 2 guy in Atlanta with Kirk Cousins coming in. That offense is ascending now. I like it too. So,
yeah,
I think it'll work out real good. Jordan Addison had some moments with Kirk Cousins this year as the number 2 guy.
Yeah.
So,
what would you pay for Darnell Mooney? Like you got a late second? You sending that out?
Oh yeah, I'll send out a late second. Sure.
I mean, I really like it more for the Falcons than I do necessarily for Darnell Mooney. I still think he's going to have some value, but yeah, I think that's a good move by the Falcons. I think he's a good player.
Yep. Chris, anything you care about? You don't care about the Falcons, do you? You ain't got nothing to say about it?
Gotta wait to see it. Because y'all did all this stuff. I just need to see what y'all gonna do because I know everything's changed, but Atlanta will do all this other shit and y'all come out there and run the ball 30 times.
Yeah. I mean,
different thing.
Definitely
it's going to be a totally different
gotta see it. Yeah.
Well, Chris, would you? I think that's a trade you get done pretty easy, especially with rookie picks being so valuable. Would you send a? Well, what's the limit? Like the 205 for Mooney?
I mean, yeah, about around there.
It's
Yeah, I
got to
would send out
be.
like a mid, late second and get Mooney.
Mid to
Yeah.
late second, not like the 20, not 201. I don't think I'd do that, but
No.
like
You can't.
205 or later.
Yeah. I mean, 205, I'll have to look at it specifically, but that wide receiver class is deep.
It's very
204.
deep. I
Like,
mean,
you want to, at 205, you want Keon Coleman or you want Gabe Davis? I meant not Gabe Davis,
yeah.
Darnell Mooney.
I don't
Oh
want Gabe
yeah.
Davis at
Well,
all.
what's
I don't want.
I don't care where
I
he's
got
at.
Gabe Davis on
some of
my
the guys we
list.
talked about? Lab McConkey or Darnell Mooney?
Lad McConkey. It's got to be a late second. It's got to be a late second type deal.
Or
I feel it.
I don't think AD Mitchell's making it that far, but
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to think of some of the other guys. Roman
Troy Franklin.
Wilson, Xavier Leggett, and you got some running backs probably going to be in that area. So yeah, I mean, I'm with y'all. 205 or later, probably.
Yeah. All right, then let's move over to Gabe Davis. Does that move do anything for you? It doesn't for me. He couldn't really get it done in Buffalo. Josh Allen throws the rock down the field.
Yeah.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence is lesser than that, so you're gonna come down here. I mean, it could work out. I do think Trevor Lawrence he'll definitely sling it down the field. So he might have his games. It might be small shit though, is what I'm thinking, Graph Man.
I like it better for Christian Kirk than I do for Gabe Davis.
Same. I'm hot. Let me get Christian Kirk from you, Chris.
You had a
Come on.
chance to get Christian Kirk.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
I
about
did.
sending a request for Christian Kirk today. Cooper Kupp or Christian Kirk next year.
Trade for guy. We done mentioned Darnell Mooney, and I think Christian Kirk's on that trade for guy right now too.
Yep. But with that said, there's not really too many names though. Hollywood to Kansas City. I'm a Hollywood guy, but I don't know. I think he'll have some good games. He's way better than these other guys they've been throwing out there.
Yeah.
So it'll work out sometimes.
Did you see what their former receiver said? They said that signing them to $8 million a year or whatever they paid him is basically signing Mecole Hardman and paying him $8 million more a year. I don't know if I agree with that.
No, I don't think.
No.
What do y'all? My brother, he was like, I told him I had Rashee Rice on my team, and he was like, "Man, that kills Rashee Rice." I was like, "Shit, I'm happy with it." Like they didn't. Marquise Brown's like the perfect signing. He's not going to demand He's not going to be like the target hog. He's going to be deep
He'll
threat.
give you a solid 6 games, and then he'll get hurt.
Yeah, you're right.
He has had stretches.
Rice is fine now.
He's had multiple stretches where he was a top 5 guy, but he just can't put together a whole season because he's always hurt.
Does this mean that the Chiefs won't?
Hurt.
Y'all think this means the Chiefs won't draft a receiver in like the first 2 rounds?
I'll ever know what the Chiefs are gonna do.
I think they might do it.
Still,
they're really trying to get these weapons. I mean, you have Rashee Rice. You bring in a new rookie, and you got Hollywood.
Yeah,
I like it. That's what I would do. You just won a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. I think you might as well just go get some receivers. Fuck.
All right. I guess here's the main question: If you got Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney on your dynasty team, can you drop them?
Yeah, I feel like you can.
You just drop them. What do you think, Matt? I know you love talking buy low situations on like the Quentin. QJ's definitely good now, but you're still saying like buy low on Treylon Burks, so
Kinda. It'd have to be low.
Like, I'm saying, can you just drop them though?
Who?
Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore. Can you just throw them on the waiver?
I don't know, man. I wouldn't buy low on them guys. You know me. I'll take an opportunity and I'll take a stab. Just about anything, but
would you keep a 4th
with that one?
You gonna keep a 4th round pick?
I mean, a 4th sounds all right. 3rd, I'm probably keeping a 3rd though. 4th though, fuck,
Puka in the 4th or Kadarius Toney.
Oh, man, you already know, man. You already know. But as far as wide receivers goes, that's pretty much it though. Curtis Samuel to Buffalo. You like that one? push Khalil Shakira back a little bit?
Nah,
I played a lot of Curtis Samuel last year in my championship run. Him and Romeo Dobbs holding it down for me.
you really
Uh,
did.
what else we got?
Devontae Parker went to Philly.
Yep.
Here's one that doesn't. It doesn't really. It don't mean much for himself, but the Texans did re-sign Noah Brown, so I think that they signed him to a pretty good deal. I don't have it off the top of my head, but it wasn't cheap. So I think that the Nico Collins, Tank Dell scare of the Texans drafting a receiver really early, that it might make you feel a little bit more comfortable that they might just roll it back with what they got and maybe take a late stab at receiver instead of going out and drafting one in the first round.
Yeah. Anything else we want to say about wide receivers?
No, this is pretty quiet.
Yep.
Pretty quiet wide receivers.
Got a few
T-
re-signs, waiting. Really, another big one I'd wait to look at, like T. Higgins. That's a big one because I feel like a deal is going to come for T. Higgins.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I already said that, man. I wish the Panthers. Well, I don't want to bring up the Brian Burns and all that and how we got fucked in the ass on the Brian Burns trade, but I mean, I definitely would have thrown them Brian Burns and some picks and went ahead and just got T. Higgins locked down, a really good weapon to bring over, but that'll be a big one. Mike Evans re-signed. I like that more that they re-signed Baker.
Yeah.
Too, because I like that little duo that they got. Michael Pittman re-signed.
Yeah.
Fuck Michael Pittman, but yeah.
Come on. Michael Pittman's fine, man.
I wish I had.
Michael Pittman's just fine, but there's a couple guys. Chris hit it good with the guys that re-signed, but the free agent still out there is Mike Williams got released. I don't know where he's going.
Come on to Carolina. Come on.
I'll say fuck Mike Williams. I ain't never been on Mike Williams.
He just needs to be able to play. He gets hurt too much. Liability.
And Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd and Michael Thomas. I'm done with Michael Thomas, but I mean, if Tyler Boyd goes to a perfect situation, then I guess I could, see him being of some value during
a perfect situation. What you mean?
I don't know.
Like where he's like the third guy. Where he's like the thord guy.
Where he's like
where he's been for the past his whole career.
Where he's like the second guy. If he went to the Steelers, replace Deontay Johnson, like that was what I'd say would be like perfect situation. That's like best case scenario. Which I think the Steelers have been talking to him.
Yeah. Let's throw the trades in there. Keenan Allen went to Chicago.
Done.
Yep. Bang. It's over with. But one that we do like, we are all kind of talking ourselves into, even though we even said it in this episode, Deontay Johnson to Carolina. That went down. I feel like I'm kind of buying into that one a little bit. No doubt. Might go send me out a couple offers.
I don't think it goes down. I mean, Bryce Young didn't show nothing, but Kenny Pickett wasn't nothing either. And Deontay just gets open over and over. He's just one of them guys that he knows how to get open. So we seen what Adam Thielen did at the beginning of last year. I'm just wondering if that could happen because Deontay is kind of the underneath, target guy. So I could definitely see a lot of value in PPR with Deontay Johnson.
I really think that we need to get a tight end as well. I mean, we got rid of Hurst, so we need to figure that out too, because we're gonna need somebody else, because they're just gonna guard them two the whole game, and it's just gonna be the same for Bryce. I feel like it's just gonna get ran at the whole game.
Y'all got Mingo too, though. He's a stud.
No,
we'll see. I wouldn't give up on him. Buy low. Jonathan.
I knew it was coming.
Let's go.
I knew it was coming. Anybody who has a shitty rookie year, Matt's in on them. Hey, buy low, baby.
Y'all talking about Darnell Mooney and all that. You got Ray McLeod over in Atlanta now, too. People don't remember how good Ray McLeod used to be.
And Rondell Moore.
I remember.
Oh, yeah, y'all did so. That's like the same play.
Ray McLeod used to be a fumble machine at Clemson back in the day. I used to always remember that shit. All right, let's move over to quarterbacks real quick because there's really a couple main,
More
2 or 3
trades
main
than anything.
quarterbacks. Yeah, so Kirk Cousins, he goes to Atlanta, and that one surprises me. As a Falcons fan, I like it. It's like what I was kind of saying to y'all too before the episode. Like my thing is, it's like why do we do some of the stuff we do? Like why would you not just pay and go get? I mean, not even pay. Throw a 4th round draft pick and go get Justin Fields. Instead, we're throwing 45 mil at a guy who just got his Achilles torn. I do like Kirk Cousins fantasy. I feel like this is awesome. Drake London. I mean, there's talk about him in best ball right now, going at the 1-2 turn right now, Kraft man. So people are definitely starting to get high on some Drake London. I'm high on him too, man. So I like the move as far as Kirk Cousins. I like it for Kyle Pitts. I think
Yeah,
maybe
especially with Jonnu gone, he might be able to play.
Yeah, so it's all looking good. If anything, it might be a little worse for Bijan. Maybe we'll just see how they roll next year. I don't know, but
I don't think it's bad for Bijan.
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's just kind of up in the air.
I think it's better because now you can actually throw the ball.
And you can score touchdowns.
And you can score.
So,
You can put points up on the board. The things you need to do to win games, you know, that kind.
we'll
that
see
type
how
of
it
shit.
goes. So
I don't think it'll be like run, play, action, punt. It might be pass,
yeah.
sack, fumble.
But the thing is, though, I wish the Falcons would at least go somewhat sort of a route like the Packers. Like I would still try to go get me a quarterback and let them sit.
They're not gonna do that.
I'm all for it. They're not gonna do it.
They could probably get.
They're not gonna do it.
They could probably get Penix in the 2nd round and just let him sit. They won't do it though.
They won't.
Y'all go grab a skill player like y'all do.
You get Roma Dunze at number 8.
I wouldn't even be shocked.
I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now.
We got Brock Bowers
going to the Falcons.
I don't know about Bowers going in the top 10 though.
Nah, I think
they definitely ain't doing Bowers, right?
I wouldn't put it past them, but I just don't. I don't see it happening.
You can't put it past them.
We're all high on Drake London. How we feel about?
I'm high. I'm high.
Yeah.
And how we feel about Kyle Pitts now, though? As you think it's gonna get a little better?
Can we? When you asked it, there was a little bit of silence. Like nobody really wanted to say anything about what they feel about Kyle Pitts.
I mean, I don't know. This was supposed to be that generational talent kind of deal, you know, and I feel like that those kind of players perform regardless of the situation that they're in. I don't know. But if you ain't getting thrown the ball, you can't make plays, so
it's just like we have no opinion on this at all.
I just gotta see it.
I mean, what is Kyle Pitts worth? Would you trade a late first for him?
No. Nah. Can't do it. Can't.
You wouldn't trade the 112 for Kyle Pitts?
No.
Damn.
I would trade the 112 for Kyle Pitts.
I think I might take my chance.
I don't know.
And a tight end premium for sure.
Well,
that's as high though. That's high. How high you got? How high can you go, Chris?
The 112.
The 112.
Okay.
What about the 201? You did the 201.
No, it's the 112 for nothing.
So 112. If you got a 10-man league, you're just fucked.
Yeah.
It's got to be the 112.
Yeah.
Not the 202 in the 10-man league. Definitely not.
I guess the next one we got to talk about is old Russ headed to Pittsburgh. I think we're all liking it. I mean, I like it in real football terms because the Pittsburgh Steelers are only paying this dude $1 million to come play football for them next year. So
well, he's making like 50 something.
Making a lot of money.
$39 million.
Making a lot of money to not play for them. That shit's hilarious. But Russ is over there in Pittsburgh, and we're going to talk about it too. Justin Fields just got traded to Pittsburgh too. So that the Pittsburgh has definitely beefed up the quarterback room. My opinion is Russ starts. He starts off, and then he's going to get overtaken eventually. So
he'll start. They'll realize this dude is fucking terrible, and they're going to put in Justin Fields.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
I could see it happening, but I got to ask you guys, what if y'all's job came up to you right now and was like, I will give you more money than anybody has ever earned at this company to just get the fuck out.
Man, I wish, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Later.
I wish I had that life.
That's what I'm saying. Pay you to not go to work.
I'm just ready to see the catchphrase, like the old Broncos country, let's ride. I'm ready to see that. What's he going to do, man? What's he going to do? Because it's going to be
Terrible
memed
towel.
to hell and back. The terrible towel.
Wet that thing and
Oh
he be spanking people in the locker room with that thing.
So
I don't know. I just be feeling like Russell Wilson's the kind of person that I just would never even consider hanging out with. I remember Marshawn Lynch and all them used to say that they had to talk to somebody else just to be able to talk to Russ. Like they couldn't never talk. They had to talk to his secretary just to be able to talk to him.
Oh man,
That's some ego right there. What's his team? Team 9, Team 6.
You gotta
Team
call
3.
his office, man. That's it. It's so funny, man. But yeah, down in Pittsburgh, I mean, it doesn't really do nothing for me. I don't even change my opinion on Russell Wilson, to be honest. It's just the same.
We gave no fantasy takes on Russell Wilson. All we did was
None.
just talk shit.
Yeah, Justin Fields though. If you got Justin
As long
Fields,
as he
just
plays,
hold
though,
him.
I don't think that it'll be terrible. Like if he can just match what he did with the Broncos, what was it, 26 touchdowns? I think that you'll get some solid production out of like your Pickens and stuff. You
Yeah,
know,
we got to talk about Pickens. That's that. We didn't need to talk about that. So with Pickens, we talked about Drake London just rose way up. Does Pickens go up at all, or is it more like a Cortland Sutton of last year type?
I mean, I feel like it's definitely better than Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, it's going up. For
So
sure.
where we, I mean, we ain't got a list in front of our face, but I mean, Pickens or Marquise Brown?
Pickens.
Pickett. I guess I can't say Addison.
I'm gonna say
I'm
Pickens.
low on Addison with Sam. I mean, I know it's
I'm
just Sam
worried.
Darnold for this year, but I don't know when they're going to find a quarterback because they're going to be good enough where they're not going to be able to draft one. So Pickens or Addison?
Man, I can't do it. I'm gonna have to roll with Addison. I have to.
Yeah,
I
Addison.
can't. It just feels like such a drop off between Addison and Pickens.
Yeah.
Might not be though, because I don't know. We'll see what this. I don't think Sam Darnold's really going to be the quarterback like that, but we'll see.
What about
Not
some
really
older
sure.
players like Pickens or Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams? Would you make a trade like that in Dynasty? If you
Just
had
to be real,
Pickens and
man,
you
I
were
don't
trying to
want
win next year,
Devontae Adams. No, hell no. I don't want anybody to deal with anything over the Raiders right now.
Gardner Minshew might feed that man. I ain't even lying. I think Devontae.
I do think that was a good move. I mean, Gardner Minshew to me, like we said, that dude's like one of the GOAT like backup quarterbacks. You know, you got like Ryan Fitzpatrick and like these dudes. They make their living off being the backup. He literally like the dude from Blue Mountain State. Like just backup.
He's a starter for now.
Like he's just. You need a backup to be able to fucking step in and play. He's got you. He's got you, dude.
You seen what Pittman did with him? I think Pittman was like the wide receiver like 10 or 12 last year, and you got Devontae Adams. So Matt, you didn't answer Pickens or Adams or Kupp.
I'm just thinking going into next season, because I was kind of in a situation like that anyways. Like, I got Kupp, and I've been sending them out, but nobody wants Cooper Kupp. I'm not even. I mean, I know. I was about to say I have Cooper Kupp, but I'm not as low as some of these people are. I think I would stick with Kupp. But heck, I was about to offer Micah Cooper Kupp for Christian Kirk. I even sent it to him and everything. I withdrew it today, and I was like, well maybe not.
Pickens or Christian Kirk?
I like Christian Kirk. I'm a Christian Kirk guy anyway. So
Deontay Johnson.
Man, I'm gonna be real. Why am I doing this, man? I like Deontay Johnson with Bryce Young. I think this could really be good. I'm about to go. I'm texting Will tomorrow. I'm texting a couple guys tomorrow. I'm about to try.
It'll be too late.
Well, I'm gonna ask y'all one more question on Pickens, or if you think you can get like a Keon Coleman in the rookie draft. If you're trying to target Keon Coleman at like the late first, early second, would you take a risk on something like that, like an A.D. Mitchell, Keon Coleman, or just stick with Pickens? Because I know you can offer Pickens for like the 111 or like the 203.
I think I might roll with Pickens, man.
Yeah,
Seems tough.
it's tough. It's pretty tough. I don't know. I don't know about this one.
Definitely a wild. I know when we talk about this, comparing this to the rookie board, it's like that rookie board. It gets tough when you start talking about how deep. I mean, I don't even know if I want to trade my 203s, 204s this year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're talking about the price tag on some of these guys.
At the 203, 204, and like from the 111, it's like just pick your guy that you like.
Yeah.
You know, you might still get the guy that you wanted anyway at the 204 compared to the 110. But so we went over to quarterbacks. I got a couple just names that probably going to be on free agency that you could pick up. Jacoby Brissett went back to the Patriots.
Right.
You know, it's not 100% that they're going to draft one. Probably will. But even if they do, Patriots are weird. They might start Jacoby Brissett for a while. He might have some value. Sam Howell went to the Seahawks.
Yep.
I think.
I like it.
Do y'all think he's a backup, or you think it's going to be like a QB competition type thing? I think he's a backup, right?
I think he eventually comes in, though.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm not gonna lie. See, why don't more teams make? I mean, we saw what Sam Howell could do.
I like
wasn't
Sam Howell.
terrible.
It's just the dude was hit on every single. He was the most hit quarterback in the league. He was running for his life the whole time and throwing the ball for 400 something yards. Like,
y'all think he plays?
Yeah.
Another guy on free agency.
Hard to put Gino down there.
Didn't Drew Lock go somewhere? Does anybody know where Drew Lock went? But I don't have where he went, but I did hear some news.
He went to the New York Giants.
They said
starter material, dude.
Job. Yeah. So if he's
starter
on free agency, grab him.
Yep.
Yep.
Any more Craftman quarterback news?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Yeah, I'm currently trying to ship him out.
I mean, there's some backup news. Jameis Winston went to the Browns.
Yeah.
We did rush. Jimmy Garoppolo still ain't got a landing spot. He got cut.
I don't think he'll find one.
And the Jets finally got their backup. And Tyrod Taylor.
Their starter.
their starter once Aaron Rodgers goes into politics.
Yeah.
Is
VP, Vice President of the United States right there.
Craftman, we got any tight end news?
Oh, man, tight end's my favorite. Let me go ahead and get over to him. We got a lot of tight end news, actually. There's mostly, all these guys are pretty much on your waiver wire in Dynasty League, so I would take a shot. I don't know the exact contracts, but I can tell you who got paid enough. Colby Parkinson went to the Rams. Tyler Higbee suffered a catastrophic, like ACL, MCL, everything kind of injury. And who's their, is it Davis Allen? Is their young tight end?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So Colby Parkinson might have a chance at a job. Gerald Everett, where did he go, Chris?
The Bears.
Behind Cole Kmet, pretty much.
Before Cole Kmet.
You think? No.
Man.
Nah. I don't know about that. And Jonnu Smith, where did he go, Chris?
The Dolphins. Where tight ends go to die.
That might be all right.
Well, no.
That might be all right.
Look, if it's a tight end that plays for the Miami Dolphins, man, like they had Mike Gesicki for all of those years, and didn't use this dude at all. And Mike Gesicki was a good tight end. That's a good pass catching tight end. They just never used him.
Yeah, he went to Cincy.
I like that for him, but I mean, on a 1 year, $2.5 million deal, like.
Yeah, I picked Gesicki up.
I just picked up Parkinson, top of the list.
Just now? Like right now?
Right now, Dynasty doo-doo.
Will Disley, where'd he go?
He went to the Chargers. That's one thing the Chargers always do. They always get Seattle's tight ends, because wasn't Gerald Everett up there in Seattle, and then he done popped down to L.A.? Will Disley's doing the same thing.
Well, what do we think about... So, I'm looking at the free agent list. and the top 3 went from Seattle. So
Yeah.
Parkinson left Seattle, Disley left Seattle, Noah Fant stayed in Seattle. Is it Noah Fant season, fellas?
No.
Craft man, I look at this list right here, and I could not give not one hoot about not one player on this list. They don't really float my boat. Went up, I picked one guy up. That's about it. All these guys, the one I like the best might be Gesicki, to be honest with you.
I like
Other than
Dalton
that,
Schultz re-signing with Texas, with
Yeah.
the Texans.
That's the good news, that kind of stuff.
Well, there's always a tight end in the offseason. I remember last year I picked up Jake Ferguson in the offseason.
Yeah.
So one of these guys could be Jake
That's who
Ferguson.
I just said, dude.
Like,
I said Dalton Schultz. It's the same fucking player, dude.
I traded for Dalton Schultz like 2 weeks ago.
It's the same person. They just I don't
gave
know how
up,
they do it, but
I gave up Marvin Mims and Tank Bigsby for him.
oh wow, that's not bad. I traded Chase Claypool and got Dalton Schultz.
Oh my god, that's even better. I traded this piece of goose shit that I found on the sidewalk for.
And then in the
Dalton
championship, Dalton Schultz caught 3 touchdowns.
Dalton Schultz should be fine, man.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. All right,
y'all don't care about these tight ends. That's kind of how we do on this podcast, right?
Listen, man, the more I do, the more I look into it, the less and less I'm starting to care about them. There ain't no difference between tight end like 4 and 17.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
all the same. You might get lucky and hit the jackpot on one. Tight end 3 and the tight end 21 probably scored the same.
Yeah,
they all trash. They can all.
All I gotta say is if you got, what'd you say?
They can all kiss my ass. And redraft, the last 2 years I've gone tight end high too, man. I can't resist it. They just keep falling to me. This next year I'm resisting.
It is hard though whenever you're like drafting, but then you're looking and you see a guy like Hawkinson sitting right there, and you're like, ooh, gotta have me some of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What a
that right
deal.
ADP. But all right, well, any more news, trade news, free agent news, anything out there that floats your boat that'll help us in the fantasy. These right here are some big moves, like they definitely affect the fantasy landscape, no doubt. Anything else, Craft Man?
I think we covered it all, but
I can't believe we did it. There was so many of them.
There was a lot of them, and them tight ends, like we just mentioned. The only thing I got to say about them is the ones that we talked about. If you got a roster spot that you don't mind getting rid of, you might can pick up a Gesicki or Disley or Parkinson, something like that. And that's about it.
Yeah. Well, with that said, I say add the podcast, 5-star review. Me and Craftman still throwing out some rookie profiles when we can. But we breaking from that, talking about these free agents. You got to talk about it. I mean, you can't just have an episode without talking about, especially with all the moves that was going down. Craftman, anything you want to say?
I'm good, man. I think we covered it front to back. I think we're good.
Chris, anything you want to say to the folks?
I'm about to go to the championship 3 years in a row.
Dude, I cannot wait. I'm ready. I'm just thinking about it now. About to go back to back. About to go back to back on their ass. Alright, then shoot, bro. Well, that sound. I mean, anything else?
Well, Matt, you got to do your due diligence here, man. What we got to say? Like 5-star review. What we got to do? Go ahead and hit them with it.
Add me on Twitter. Add Craftman on Twitter.
I deleted mine.
It's all in there. You could just hit us up. But with that said, we out.
Peace.